Welcome to another episode of Grand Football TV, and it's yours truly again, Mr. Chicks. How are we doing? Today we are looking at Game Week 8. Wow, Game Week 8 already. The international break is over. Whew, happy days. We are back into the action. I know there's one coming up soon again, but for now, let's enjoy the football. So, before we go into Game Week 8, remember, as is custom, we will look at Game Week 7 and see how the Grand Football community did in Game Week 7 before we look at Game Week 8. So, let's go straight into it. Let's look at the games. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Remember, Liverpool running away with that one, getting a 1-0 win in that one. And from the looks of it, no one got the correct prediction. I mean, everyone got the right outcome. A lot of us got the right outcome. Everyone chose Liverpool to win the game, but no one really chose, that correct score of 1-0. So we'll move on to the next game. Arsenal versus Southampton. Arsenal versus Southampton. I went for a 5-0 and everyone was looking at me, guys, what's going on with you? And truly, they were right. What's going on with you? Do you think Southampton were just coming to make up the numbers? No, they gave a good game, but they ended up still losing the game 3-1. And shout out to Nyema, who got the correct score of 3-1. We move on. Brentford versus Wolves. Well, this one, no one would have predicted that score. Though. I don't care what you were predicting. No one would have gotten that score correct. 5-3, 5-3. That's what it ended. No one got that score correctly. Well, not even many people got the right outcome because a lot of people thought Wolves would come back or it would be a draw and all that. So not a lot of people got the outcome right. Only Eddie Great, only Yema and Temizak who got the correct outcome. So shout out to them. Leicester versus Bournemouth. Leicester versus Bournemouth. Leicester winning that one 1-0, recording their first win in the Premier League this season after 7 games. Yeah, a lot of people got the outcome, but not the correct score. I even went for Bournemouth to win, so that's how bad I thought Leicester were. But it's football. No one ever knows what's gonna happen. Yeah, so like I said, no one got the correct score. So we move on. Manchester City versus Fulham. This is a game I thought Man City were going to run riot, but credit to Fulham. In fact, like I said in the other videos, Fulham should actually have won the game if Adama Traore had his proper shooting boots in that game, because they had loads of chances and they kept falling to Adama, but it just fell short of getting it at the back of the net. So Man City ended up winning that game 3-2. And shout out to Chris. Chris got the correct score of 3-2. Well done to Chris. And we move on. West Ham versus Ipswich. I told you guys West Ham were going to win this one. I just knew that West Ham were going to win comfortably. I mean, I went for a 3-0 win, but it ended up being a 4-1 win. And credit to West Ham for stepping up and getting the win. And a lot of us picked the correct outcome, but not the correct score. So no one got that correct score of 4-1. Everton versus Newcastle. Everton versus Newcastle. I don't think anyone would have seen that 0-0 coming, So it ended up being a game where a lot of people thought Newcastle would win, or one or two thought Everton would win. But credit to me, I went for the draw. I mean, I didn't get the correct score, but I got the correct outcome. I went for a 1-1, which probably would have happened, but it never did. So credit to myself. The game finished 0-0. Aston Villa versus Man United. Another game where everyone thought there would be goals in it, but they ended up being a 0-0 game, which was surprising. And no one again picked that as their correct score, because no one would have thought the game would finish 0-0. They definitely thought there would be goals in the game. So that game finished 0-0 and no one got it right. No one got it right. I don't think anyone even got the draw. No one went for a draw. So no one even got the points for a draw. Now, Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest finishing 1-1. And no one again got that prediction. No one predicted a 1-1 draw. The closest was a 1-0. And that was even, far-fetched, because he ended up as 1-1. And even that, I think Nottingham Forest scored first, so it would have been down. So yeah, no one got that right. And the last game for game week 7, Brighton versus Tottenham. Brighton winning that one 3-2 after losing it, coming from 2 goals down to win 3-2. No one again got that correct score. Everyone went for a lot of us went for Tottenham to actually win the game. I went for Brighton, so I got the 3 points for that, for the correct outcome. But no one predicted the game to finish 3-2 to Brighton. Yep. So after game week 7, the top 3 in the league are Yema with 202 points. And in second is Chris with 184 points. And in third is Eddie Great with 174 points. So well done to you guys. Well done to the top 3. I know you can see the full table there, but we always give a shout out to the top 3. We always give a shout out just to the top 3. So I need to get there so I can shout out myself. Yeah, so now we're moving to game week 8. Let's look at the games in game week 8. And to start us off in game week 8, we have Tottenham versus West Ham. Tottenham versus West Ham. Tottenham coming after a very bad loss, and obviously I'm sure they've been eager for this week to come so they can make amends for what happened against Brighton. And West Ham will be boosted by that win against Ipswich. It's just if they can carry on. But I see this game, because of how hurt Tottenham were, and it's a London derby, I just feel Tottenham might just nick this one. Tottenham might just nick this one. And I'm going for the score to be 2-1. 2-1 to Tottenham. 2-1 to Tottenham. Fulham versus Aston Villa. Fulham versus Aston Villa. Well, Fulham had a very good game against Man City, albeit they lost. So they'll be boosted by that performance. And I'm sure they'll go into this game trying to make sure they get a win. But Aston Villa, they've been playing really well. And I don't know, for some reason, I'm leaning towards Aston Villa. And I'm thinking Aston Villa might just go away with a win. And I'm saying Aston Villa winning 2-1 away from home. 2-1 to Villa. Ipswich versus Everton. Ipswich versus Everton. A big game for Ipswich. They need to get the big win that they desire in this game. Everton, been playing well. They got a draw in their last game, so they'll be buoyed by that in a big side like Newcastle. So they'll probably come in this game confident they can get a result. But I see that Everton, they're probably not so totally great on their travels yet. So this might be one of those games that might just be too early for them to get a win away from home. And I'm thinking Ipswich, with Delap in form, if he's still in form after this international break, he'll probably be the one to look for the goals. And I see Ipswich winning 2-1. Ipswich beating Everton 2-1. Manchester United versus Brentford. Well, as it stands, it looks like Ineos are going to give Ten Hag some more time at the helm. So this is one of the games where he needs to start putting results on the table. And I see them trying to beat Brentford. But remember who Brentford are. They're giant killers. So they'll probably make a mark in this game by maybe scoring early at Old Trafford and then unsettling the whole system of Man United. So I see this one ending in a draw, and I'm going for a 2-2 draw. A 2-2 draw. Newcastle versus Brighton. Newcastle didn't win their last game, but they had a good result away from home. And Brighton will be buoyed by that result against Tottenham. But I see Newcastle winning this one. If the likes of Wilson and Isak are back, because I heard they should be back after the international break. If they're back for this game, I see Newcastle winning, and winning well. 3-1. I'm going for Newcastle win 3-1 against Brighton. Southampton versus Leicester. Southampton versus Leicester. I see Southampton winning this one, getting their first win on board. Leicester, they might be happy with their last win, but it might just be too soon for them to carry on winning back to back. So I just see a case where Southampton, they're playing the people they came up with, and they'll be thinking, we need to win this game. This is a must win for us. And I see them getting that win against Leicester. And I'm going for a 2-1 win to Southampton. 2-1 against Leicester. Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Bournemouth versus Arsenal. I don't know if Saka will be back for this game, because obviously he pulled out of the England squad due to an injury. I don't know how serious the injury is. If he's back, and Odegaard should be back, this team should, do well, but you never know. Bournemouth are a very good side. Iraola has set his team up really well. But I see Arsenal coming away with a win. A hard-fought win, but a win all the same. And I see Arsenal coming out with a 2-0 win against Bournemouth. 2-0 against Bournemouth. Wolverhampton versus Manchester City. Wolverhampton, they've had really, really poor results this season. Most of them, they've given their all but just fallen short winning the game. And I see this one a bit too, soon for them to try and get a win. They play well against Man City most times. I'll be happy if my prediction is even down, but I see Man City winning this one. I see Man City winning 4-1 away from home. 4-1 away from home. Liverpool versus Chelsea, the star game of the weekend. The star game, guys. And this is where slots begins to get tested properly, because Chelsea are a good side. They've been playing well all season. So they would come to this game believing they can come up with a win. But I see them just falling a little bit short. And I'm giving it to Liverpool. Liverpool to win 2-1 at home. 2-1 against Chelsea. Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest, they played well in their last game against Chelsea. In fact, this season they've had some good performances, and I see them, beating Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, I feel they're a bit disjointed at the minute. They haven't found their form yet, and they're missing the players who have left, in the likes of Olise. So I think that this might be a game where they will probably struggle away from home, and Nottingham Forest will come all out and get those goals that they need to win the game. So I'm going for a Nottingham Forest win, and the Nottingham Forest to win 2-0. Nottingham Forest to win 2-0. So there you have it. Game week 8. What are your predictions, guys? You can leave it in the comment section. Any of the predictions you don't agree with, you can leave your comments in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, guys. Bye for now.
Don't check this.